Hi guys, so it is me, Rachel. I know you guys probably haven't seen me in like years, but I am back and I just wanted to give you guys a few updates about why I have been gone for a few years. And yeah, I'm looking at my phone because I have a horrible memory, and yeah, so that just sucks. But yeah, so first things first, I left YouTube. Probably like I think my youngest son was about 9 months old, and so when I left, it was because he was having health issues or whatever. I ended up leaving, and then that was in I think 2013, I want to say. And so in 2014, I started. So I wasn't working at Sephora anymore, and then in like around the end of 2014, the middle and probably July, I started back at Sephora at my job, and I also started in about 2014. I started working out because I had gained a lot of weight because I wasn't at my job, and so I had really. So I had started working out and I was eating super clean and I was just working out and I had lost about 16 pounds, and so I was doing really good and eating healthy and stuff. And then I started with that's going to bring me to the whole medical update. So then I started experiencing joint pain. And I'm going to work. I'm thinking I'm just overexerting myself because I'm doing like a high intensity workout like twice a day, and I was working too. So then I go see my regular doctor. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting joint pain and I'm swelling, and in the morning I'm like really stiff. He tells me, oh, well, you're overexerting yourself and blah, 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 and maybe you should cut it out or cut down the frequency and intensity of your workout. So I'm like, okay. I'm down to like working out 3 times a week, and I'm still having this joint pain. And I'm just extremely tired, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, it's just bad. And so then I go and I'm just like, okay, so I'm taking like they gave me naproxen for pain. I'm taking that and I'm still like having this bad pain. So then, I went to the ER one night because I was just swollen to where I couldn't even move and I was just in so much pain. And I had the ER doctor tell me he runs x rays and he's like, yeah, so maybe you sprained something. They give me a cast and I'm wearing it on my wrist. And I'm like, that was it. So then I go, fast forward to like months later, I'm not working out at all. And I'm still getting this pain and it's bad. And then I'm starting to get rashes. And then I'm just extremely tired and I'm sick and I'm still losing weight, but I'm not like working out or doing anything that's different. So then I go and I see my regular doctor again because I end up, that's why I go back to the ER and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm just sore. This is like months later, like something's not right. And I explain all my symptoms, and one of the ER doctors go, do you have lupus? And I'm like, lupus? No. So I'm never like that, never goes through my head. I did think one point that I had rheumatoid arthritis. I was like, because that's the only reason I could think of swelling and like pain like this. So then I ended up, so I go home. They're like, yeah, you should probably see your regular doctor. I see my regular doctor again. And he's like, oh, well, we can send you to a rheumatologist, which took him forever. Actually, the next time I went to the ER, because I was in extreme pain again and I was having chest pain. And so I go to the ER and they're like, yeah, we need to send you to a rheumatologist because I actually ended up getting shingles. So I was being treated for a kidney infection, and then I ended up with shingles. So I go back to the ER, and they're like, "Yeah, you should probably see a rheumatologist because shingles is just not. I mean, you can get shingles, but it's not normal in people your age because I was only 26." And I do that. They set me up with the rheumatologist. I see the rheumatologist probably like 2 weeks later. And by that time, I had already been Googling because, we love Google when we're sick. And I had already been looking into to lupus. And then I had already like paired my symptoms with what the symptoms of lupus were. And so I had already kind of knew what to expect when I went to the rheumatologist. So I go to the rheumatologist, and it's just like they took like 8 or 9 vials of blood, and they take it and they're like, yeah, so we're gonna run this test on you. But they tell me, with all of your symptoms, it seems like you may have lupus. Like, they're more than likely you have lupus, which I kind of expected it, because I kind of already like knew that it was lupus. Me and my husband did, so I kind of expected it. But so we do all the tests. So they do and I'll probably make a separate video on all of the tests and stuff. But they do a ANA test, and then they do like a C-reactive protein test, and they do different tests or whatever. And so they're like, yeah, so we'll see you back in 2 weeks, but let's start you on prednisone, which is a steroid. So they started me on a steroid, and like 3 days later, I didn't get any joint pain and swelling. I was feeling like kind of like myself again. And then I started to get this fever, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is a new symptom. Like, I didn't really deal with fever. So I was thinking maybe I had an infection, or like something just wasn't right. So um fast forward, so my next appointment was in 2 weeks. The day before my next appointment, I started having really bad chest pains, like chest pains to where I thought I was about to pass out, and I could not get my fever down, and my heart rate was just like through the roof. So